People buy your confidence way before they buy your ideas, your services, and your products. Get ready because we're going to be talking about how you can pump up your confidence. The 3 tips that you could take right now and for this week to pump up your confidence so people buy you, love you, and want to work with you. Get ready because we're about to start.
We're bold, brave, seen, heard. We're paid well, bold, brave, seen, heard. We're power women. I'm a power woman. Bold and brave and well paid. Woman. I've seen and heard a great leader. We're experts and leaders expanding together as women. Connecting and growing, we're powerful.
So here we are, ready to go, talking specifically about you and how you can build your confidence, pump it up, make sure that you are totally ready to be seen, to be heard, to be paid well, because that's what this whole thing is about. So people buy your confidence more for your ideas and your services way before they even see what you're offering. This I know because I've been doing sales for so many years, decades, that I know that your confidence makes people fall in love with you. So let's talk about how you can have confidence. Well, pump up your confidence because a lot of times we have confidence in what we do, we have confidence in what we're selling, except when it comes time to talk to somebody, except when it's time to really, close a deal, except sometimes when we're confronted with somebody who has a bodacious sense of self and confidence. So, in order for us to be prepared, to be pumped, to be ready, to be awesome, to be great, we have to make sure that we can pump up our confidence. So, here's the first thing that I want to share with you about confidence, and that is let's start with the concept of mirror talk. So, mirror talk is it's kind of a love encounter between and your you and yourself. What happens is a lot of times when we are about to do something with somebody, we get ready in that moment. And in order for us to be pumped up with confidence, we have to get ready way before that moment. So to do that, you have to get used to your facial expressions, who you are, and what you do. And so I teach women all the time to take a mirror and start practicing in the mirror so you can see yourself, fall in love with yourself for sure, but then also practice how you're speaking. So this is how it might go for yourself. I'm going to let you know before we start this, I'm going to let you know that when you start doing mirror talk, a lot of times women can only handle about 5 minutes of it, 5 seconds at a time, and then work themselves up to a minute to 10 minutes to really start flowing in love for yourself and getting confident with yourself. It's so critically important that you do some of this mirror work, and I've been doing it for decades. So you hold the mirror in front of you and you're looking into the mirror, and the first thing you're going to be doing is just focusing on all the things you love and telling yourself that. So you're looking at yourself and you're going, God, I love you. I love the way you show up when you say you're going to show up. I love the way that you make sure that you are absolutely present for the people that you love. I love the way that you invest in yourself, that you're always listening to motivational tapes and positive affirmations. I love that you say positive affirmations. Actually, I love that you're doing this mirror work right now. I love looking at your eyes. I love seeing your eyes. I love seeing how you smile when you talk to me. I love you, Pegine. I love you. So, this is the way you start mirror talk. You start acknowledging yourself for all the things that work for you. And this is very, very important because honestly, if you don't think you're awesome, why should anybody else? If you don't think you're great, why should anybody else? So, mirror talk really makes you comfortable seeing yourself, talking to your eyes. They say that your eyes, it enters into your soul. And so sometimes we say affirmations out there, but we're not looking at ourselves. And that really needs to change, because we have to do affirmations where we're looking at ourselves saying it, because we get excited. Our soul gets excited to say, yes, yes, yes. I've been thinking this about you for so long. I'm so glad that you, physical self, are acknowledging your spiritual self. So that's one part of the mirror talk. The second part about mirror talk is being able to go, as you're going, I love the service that you provide. I love how you love your products. I love how you share the products with such enthusiasm, joy. I love that you love the services that you render. I love that you talk about your coaching. I love that you talk about your elite. I love that you talk about all the things that you do with Power Women Worldwide. I love that you are making a difference in the world. So now, as I'm looking at the mirror, I'm expressing outside and to me what I want to have happen, what I want people to feel, what I want people to hear when I'm talking. And I'm practicing my voice modulation so that I'm practicing when I say, I love what I do, I love the services. I want to make sure that I'm speaking in a place of enthusiasm, excitement, and joy. And this is really important for you to be able to do. Thank you. I'm looking at some of these comments. Thank you, Evie. I'm so glad that you're here. Thanks for showing up. Yeah, you know me. I'm always trying to make myself energized. So thank you, Evie, for being there. But when you're talking to yourself and you're looking at this, you really want to be communicating and noticing your facial expressions, noticing your eye expressions, noticing your voice. How are you using your voice? This makes a big difference. And what I want to say is, when you are communicating through your eyes into your soul and you're talking about it, you convince yourself to buy. And that's awesome. When you convince yourself that you are the confidence person about what you're selling, that's how you start making magic happen. And that's so exciting. The second tip that I want to give you is something called physical activation. Now, what physical activation is you doing something to yourself that says, this is me. So some of you, if you go to my website, pegine.com, you see that I stand in the strong pose. I often put my hands on my hips. I love that. I've been doing that since I've been a kid, way before there was any research about it. I did this as a little kid. I just love the feeling that I get. The other piece that's really important is that I love knowing from a branding perspective that I own my brand. Do you own your brand? Do you even know what your brand is? Yes, I'm going to have my silver jewelry. I'm going to have my black. I'm going to show up fully and completely. This is a physical manifestation of what I want to share with the world, how I want to be with the world. Do you have some physical manifestations? Now, years ago, and some stars that you see on TV, they have little tricks that they do. They'll pull on their ear, or maybe they do things with their hands that remind them who they are by a physical attribute that they do. So, what is your physical attribute? So, for some people, it's when they get nervous, they will tap, right? Tap on themselves. Sometimes what you'll have is people really go a little bit out there so they could be heard, and seen, because it's critically important that we do this for ourselves. I'm just checking on the comments over here to make sure that I'm acknowledging people. One of the things, the other piece about that is that you want to make sure that your physical activation feels awesome. that every time you do it, girl, I am here. This is me. I own this place. That every time you're doing this physical activation, it is meaningful for you. And so figure out what that will be. What do you want to attach? What message do you want to attach to that action step? So, what action step means something? So, for instance, another thing that I do is I love getting my nails done, but I don't only like getting my nails done. I don't know if you could see it, but I like getting it with a little bit of silver because when I look at it, I go, yeah, girl, I am sparkling. I'm sparkling personality. I'm going to be out there. This is a physical activation piece that aligns with my belief, my confidence, and my clarity. You have to decide a physical activation piece for you that declares to yourself how amazing you are. This is something that people just don't do. And if you don't do it, and women especially, if you don't do a physical activation piece, then what ends up happening is it's easy to forget. So I do have it's so funny. Didn't put my jewelry in. So I do wear. I do a bracelet that I have a lot of uh, little insights in here that remind me of who I am. I'm always doing what I need to do to make sure that I feel really, really good. So Evie just wrote something that was interesting, and I'm going to share it. She gets activated by music, which I think is really important. But I also want to share that something, my perspective. Okay. So Evie just said, I'm thinking about doing my Bizniversity live biz TV, which you all should be watching with a drink to chill out and to make it feel like I'm just hanging out. I will say that so I have a friend, for instance, he is a connoisseur on whiskey and jazz and business. His whole podcast is about whiskey, jazz, and leadership. It makes sense. I want to caution you that if you're adding something that is not in alignment with really how you are. So, for instance, yes, Evie, like you like to dance and play music. That is always something you should do because it is makes you feel alive. The other piece about it is to say your affirmation, which everybody can remember. They love it. We love hearing it. So I would absolutely share that as an opening to your store, your business university live program. Let me go back to all of you and share that one of the other things about the physical activation is that you could also use a totem. You remember I was telling you about how I look at my earrings, my silver jewelry, my silver. These are part of my totem. You can have the same thing. I do use my bracelets. I have totems to remind me who I am, what I believe, how I believe, and where I'm coming from. Because let's be clear, not every moment of your life are you going to be, yay, this is great. Not every time that you're going to be pitching will you be in a higher state of being so that they could feel your confidence. So you need reminders of how you can have a higher state of being. This is really important. This is why physical activation is clear. The next thing that I want to share with you is the voice power. So, voice power is your way of communicating your strengths. And here was some of the challenges with voice power. One is sometimes when we're overly excited about something, but not necessarily confident, we can tend to do two things. Speak way too fast. Oh, you got to have this. You got to, let me tell you about this. You got to know that. And we talk too fast, which doesn't communicate the confidence and doesn't make people feel comfortable with what you're selling or what you're proposing. The second challenge with voice and understanding voice is that sometimes we will tend to speak too loud as though you can't hear it. Now, I know that sometimes I speak way too loud. So I have people around me that will go, take it down, take it down, take it down. Because if I'm too loud, I'm trying to push what I want onto you. I want to push it hard, and that necessarily doesn't feel good to the person on the other side. So we need to know how to, one, slow down. So you practice your voice. You practice your voice power pump. I am amazing. I am great. I am fabulous. I am wonderful. And notice I'm bringing my voice down. I'm speaking slower, but I'm also communicating with deep power. So you say, as you practice this, I am here for you. I know that you want me. I know that you want to buy what I have to do. And I practice in front of a mirror so I could bring my octaves down, speak softly, but also project with power. This is important. The second piece that I want is really important about voice power pump is, yes, to sing songs. Yes, absolutely. I sing songs in the morning that go, good morning. Good morning. Hello. And how are you? Yeah. Good morning. So I have these songs that I sing to voice pump to make sure that I'm using my voice to elevate my confidence, elevate my energy, ensure that I could be powerful and connected. So this is not the time to sing sad love songs. This is a time for you to sing pump songs. So you'll notice that a lot of top keynote speakers, before they ever get on stage in their rooms, they have playlists that they know the words that'll make them pump, 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 and make them sure that they're being heard and seen. And this is very important that you can embrace this, because if you don't embrace it, then what happens is your voice doesn't communicate the power that you want to communicate. You see my eyes going down because I'm making sure that I'm following my script so I could stay on target with you. So the voice power pump is so important for your own success and your own growth. So let's make sure that you understand everything and that you hear it. First, you have to know that people buy your confidence way before they buy your services, your ideas, or your products. And you want to make sure that you understand how to use the 3 tips to pump up your confidence, to make sure that you're communicating with confidence, that people feel you, that people enjoy being around you. You want to make sure that first that you use mirror talk. Mirror talk is a love encounter with yourself using a mirror and absolutely falling in love with who you are. You want to make sure that you're using physical activation, meaning that you're using something, a brand, a pose, a power totem, something that continually reminds you of how awesome you are and how confident you are. You want to make sure that you're using your voice power pump, practicing your voice so that you could pump it up, and make sure that you know to speak slowly, speak lowly, speak with a low voice, making sure that you're singing songs so you could be pumping it up. I'm really happy that you're here, because when you know what you're doing, you feel a lot more confident. Now, I want to just share one last thing with you, that we have something coming up in October called the Power Women Gathering. I am inviting you all to join us at the Power Women Gathering. Just go to powerwomengathering.com and make sure that you are part of it, because if not, we'd miss you, right? So we'd miss you so much. Just join us at the Power Women Gathering, and we're all there with you. Again, I'm excited to be with you, excited to have you, and I'm excited to be with you today.